made it home, I dug her out, then I made her one of my aces. Marijuana fragrance, this tree here is outrageous. Want me to play in your city? Send an email to my agent.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? It is Straight Outta Boston here, aka the King of Boston, and today we are back for episode 28 of the Miami Marlins franchise on MLB 13 The Show. We simulate the last game of the season, and yes, we do win 100 games. We go 162. We win the NL East. We clinched it in the last video, and we will be playing the winner of the NL wildcard game in the NLDS. Now, we did end up with the number 1 seed, best record in the NL. We simulate ahead a little bit, and you're going to see, we find out in just a moment, we're going to go up against the Atlanta Braves in the NLDS. So they beat out the Washington Nationals in the one-game playoff. The Braves get a bit of redemption for their 2012 loss against the Cardinals in the NL wildcard playoff. So as always, if you guys don't know my format, I always simulate up until the first elimination game. So we simulate the first 3 games, and we go up 2-1. Now, this is how I've always formatted my franchises, my associations, anything like that. If you are a 2K follower, you know I simulate up to the first elimination game. And this is how I do it in MLB as well. It gives it a realistic simulation feel. By that I mean, it's not about how good I am with the team or how good I am at the game. It's about how good the team is. And then I get input a little bit by me actually playing the elimination games. So, today, we're going up against the Atlanta Braves, Game 4 of the NLDS in Atlanta, in Turner Field, a division rival. We played these guys once before. This is where Jamison Tyon made his team debut, I believe. Or, I don't think it was his team debut, but it was the first time I used him in a video. And it's the only time I've used him in a video, actually. But either way, we're up 2-1, and we're looking to close out the Braves. We don't want to go back at home, and I made a peculiar decision today in my pitching. So the way I usually go about it is I never use all 5 guys in my playoff rotation. No one ever does. So you cut it down to 4 guys. Now, theoretically, your number 1 guy, if he pitches on Game 1, could pitch in Game 4 with full rest. But what I usually prefer to do is either save him for Game 5 if we're up 2-1. So in a situation where I'm up 2-1, I like to either save him for a potential do-or-die Game 5, or if we win Game 4 with a number 4 starter, I get to use him for Game 1 of the NLCS. But I did a little bit differently today. I wanted to win today, and I don't know really what was going through my mind when I was doing this, but I just really felt like going with Matt Moore was the right decision. So I'm pitching Matt Moore. It is full day's rest, but he will not be available for Game 5, and he will likely not be available for Game 1 of the NLCS if we win today. Now that depends on when the date starts. I'm not really sure yet if we win today what the start date would be for Game 1 of the NLCS, but I imagine it would be more on 3 days rest, maybe even more on 2 days rest. So, we'll see. Either way, it's going to be Matt Moore versus Brandon Beachy. I don't know why. I just didn't really want to go to a Game 5 in Miami. I really wanted to close things down today. And I know my percentages would have been greater with a Game 5 in Miami with Matt Moore than a Game 4 in Atlanta with Matt Moore. But, oh well, what can you say? I had a good feeling going in with Moore today. I wanted to use him. And I said, let's go for it. So, anyway, we can take a look at the starting lineup here. Now, I've made an executive decision that this is going to be my regular lineup for the playoffs. And you're going to notice Jorge Soler is not in there. Jorge Soler, he did not have a great year. He only had 12 home runs. He had 269, I think. It was not a great year. Puig had a much better year. Morrison had a much better year. Machado had a much better year. Sano had a much better year. I had to keep my hot hands in. Soler's the one that struggled all year, so Soler's the one that's going on the bench. I moved Morrison to left, which is where Soler usually plays. Sano over to first and Machado at third. We're getting things started here, as that's going to be a throwing error by Chris Johnson, the third baseman for the Braves. Hayward is over to field. The runners are taken off, and it looks like we're going to get into second and third safely. So we get runners on second and third with just 1 out in the top of the first inning. A chance for the Marlins to take a lead here. And now, later in the inning, Logan Morrison up. He's going to ground this one to the second baseman. He will pick it and fire onto first base. Throw a little bit high. Freeman is big enough to get that one. But the run does score, so we take a 1-0 lead. Castro comes home from third. Stanton moves up to third. Puig up later in the inning, 0-2 count. He will strike out on the slider down in the way. Very nice pitch by Brandon Beachy, who is a guy that, if he comes back healthy this year from Tommy John surgery, he might be a force to reckon with in that Braves rotation. If you guys remember, I think he was leading the NL with the lowest ERA before going down in 2012. And no one ever talks about this guy, but he is a really bright young arm. He's not that young anymore, but he's fantastic for the Braves. He adds to their pitching depth. One of the reasons they felt it was okay to part with Randall Delgado in the Justin Upton trade. But Either way, 1-2 count here to the next batter. He's going to ground that one back up the middle for a base hit, so the Braves getting things going in the bottom of the first. They got runners on first and second with, I believe, only one out, or maybe no outs. I think Chris Johnson got that hit, and he bats second, so probably no outs, and yes, no outs. Just an Upton up here, 0-1 count. Upton is going to take this one into center field. Puig is going to make the catch on the run. He is going to fire it into the cutoff man. Andrelton Simmons will tag up from second, move on to third. Johnson holds at first, and we got runners on first and third with one out. The Marlins could desperately use a double play ball right here. Next batter is Jason Hayward. He's going to hit one to center field. Puig is under it. He is going to get a little bit of a running start. Andrelton Simmons is going to tag up. Puig will throw home. He doesn't have the best arm, but it's all right, and he will not be in time. And Andrelton Simmons gets in there safely, and that is an RBI sac fly for Jason Hayward. Freddie Freeman up later in the inning. That one gets by Sano at first. Standing over the field, he will fire it into the third baseman. But now runners on first and second with 2 outs for the Atlanta Braves. And the next batter for the Braves is going to be Robert Andino, and he hits this one off of Matt Moore over the field. He will have to throw it fast, and he gets it there in time, just beating Andino, the runner, and he gets out of the inning. Catch a little bit of a break there. That one easily could have been a base hit up the middle, but we'll take it. Top 3, Donovan Solano up 1-1 count. Solano hits this one over the second baseman's head, and Dino for a base hit. So we get things going here with a little single base runner. All we need right now is just another runner to take this lead. 0-1 count to Giancarlo Stanton, and Stanton is going to end up hitting this one into deep right field. That will get into the gap and get down the center fielder over to field. He fires it into the cutoff man. Solano will hold at third, but it is going to be a 1-out double for Giancarlo Stanton. Runners on second and third with 1 out. Similar situation to the first inning. Morrison, though, is going to do a little bit differently. Hits this one to deep right. 1 hop up against the wall. Hayward over the field takes a little bit of a weird bounce, so Morrison ends up getting into second safely, although he would have gotten in there anyway. But 2 runs come home, and it's 3-1 Marlins. Now Yasiel Puig up later in the inning, still 1 out. Beachy fires it. It will be a grounder to Freeman at first. Stanton moves up to third base now with 2 outs, and the next batter in this Marlins lineup is going to be Miguel Sano. The 1-0 count to him. Sano hits this one softly back up the middle for a base hit, and that will get the job done. Stanton comes home and scores, and the Marlins extend their lead. Or excuse me, Morrison comes home and scores. The Marlins extend their lead now 4-1 on top of the Braves. So now Manny Machado up 1-2 count to him. Machado will strike out on that questionable call. Changeup belt high, but very outside. Must have just caught the edge of the plate. At least that's what the umpire thought, and that will end the top of the third inning now. 4-1 Marlins. Top 5. Giancarlo Stanton up 3-2 count. Stanton is going to hit this one into deep center field. That one is a no-doubter. I should say left center field, but that one is a no-doubt shot for Giancarlo Stanton. One of many for this season, as he seems to always get those no-doubters, I swear. Even in the Red Sox fantasy draft franchise. 435 feet, solo shot, extends the Marlins lead now 5-1, and they are just inching closer and closer to that closeout victory and moving on to the NLCS. Next batter for the Marlins is going to be Logan Morrison. 0-2 counts him. Morrison takes this one into deep right field. That one is back at the track, at the wall, and gone. Back-to-back shots now from Giancarlo Stanton and Logan Morrison. Glad to have the old Marlin combo back. Morrison goes yard, extends the lead now 6-1. And the Marlins are really starting to sniff that taste of NLCS glory, that NLDS champion glory. We'll see if they can close out this game. Remember, this team has never lost a postseason series in franchise history. The only 2 times they made the playoffs, they've gone on to win the World Series, 1997 and 2003. Will 2015 be the same, or will it be the first postseason loss, I should say, for the Miami Marlins in their franchise history? Either way, that is not the question right now. Freddie Gonzalez is going to end up pulling his pitcher Brandon Beachy after that home run. Christian Martinez will come in relief, the 32-year-old, making his first appearance of the postseason. He is one of the better relievers on the Atlanta Braves, part of their very strong bullpen. He will get Machado to pop out to center field here later on in the 5th inning, and that will end the inning. So the Braves finally get out, but 2 home runs from Stanton and Morrison lead to a 6-1 lead now from the Miami Marlins. We will head to the bottom of the 5th. Now, bottom 5, Andrelton Simmons up 0-2 count. Simmons is going to take that hanging slider into left field for a base hit. Morrison will fire it into the second baseman but Simmons reaches safely, so a one-out base runner for the Braves. With the top of their lineup up, trying to get something going. Chris Johnson will be up next. The 1-2 count to him. He bounces this one up the middle for a base hit. Puig over to field. He will fire it into the third baseman. Simmons holds at second, and it's runners on first and second with just one out. And the next batter for the Braves is going to be Justin Upton. And Upton is going to take that hanging slider into left field for a base hit. Morrison fields it. He will fire it home, but the throw will be not near. Well, actually, it was very close. I did not think Morrison was going to have a good throw, but he fires it in there. Simmons just beats the tag, and the Braves cut the lead to 6-2. Freddie Freeman up next. He's going to bounce this one to Sano. Sano fires it to Moore. I should say lobs it to Moore for the out, and the Marlins get out of the inning. So 6-2. The Braves get one more run, but the lead is still 4. Marlins on top, 6-2, and we will head into the later innings. We'll take a look as Mark Melanson will come on, and we would turn it over to the bullpen after 5 2/3 innings. Moore would get in a bit of a jam, and we would call on Melanson here. 2 runners on with 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th. Simmons up, and he's going to get Simmons to pop up to Yasiel Puig in center field. I decided to not go with the regular 7th and 8th inning guys. Henderson and Delabar kind of struggled at the end of the year. I decided to switch things up, so we got Melanson pitching in the 7th. He's going to have a 1-2-3 inning as Hayward grounds out. Back to the pitcher for the 3rd out in the 7th inning. We're going to move on here to the 8th inning in just a moment, and you're going to see the pitching change. We'll bring in Burke Badenhop. And a couple of you guys realized that in the last episode, he went 13-0 in the regular season and finished 3rd in the Cy Young. That's insane. And it was, I don't even know how. He's a reliever. He was a reliever the whole year. But he's going to get, who was that? I can't even tell who that was, who laid down that bunt. But either way, Badenhop gets him to bunt out to the 3rd baseman. I think Badenhop fielded that one, but that's the 3rd out in the 8th. So a new pitcher for the top of the 9th inning for the Braves will be Anthony Varvaro. Awesome name. Jorge Soler will come in and pinch it for Badenhop in the pitcher spot. He would, I believe, lead off the top of the 9th inning. Yes, he will lead off. No outs in the inning. And Soler's going to take that hanging breaking ball into deep left center field. That one is back, and that one is gone. A solo pinch hit home run for Jorge Soler, saying, hey, Mike Redmond, you should play me. I deserve to be in the starting lineup. But you know what? I mean, it's like the situation the Dodgers have right now. I mean, they have 4 outfielders, and they only got 3 spots. And in Soler's case, we got 9 players. We got 9 capable hitters. We only got 8 spots. And if I had a DH, I would use him there, or I would use Morrison there, or Sano or something. But I just don't have the opportunity there right now. But he's a great option off the bench, and he shows it right there. Gets a pinch hit home run, and now later in the inning, still top of the 9th, 2-2 count to Giancarlo Stanton. He's going to strike out swinging, and that will retire the side. So Varvaro gets out of the inning, only allowing that solo shot. Enter our Aroldis Chapman to try and save the outing. This wouldn't be a save, but he's got 2 saves so far in this postseason on 2 appearances. First batter up is Christian Betancourt, the new catcher for the Braves, one of their top prospects, who replaced Brian McCann, as McCann went on to sign with Washington, I believe, in this franchise. Here's Jordan Schaefer up. He was a pinch hitter, I believe. We get him to strike out swinging, so that will be 2 outs in the inning. The Marlins are 1 out away from advancing to the NLCS, and Darrelton Simmons is up, and he will strike out swinging on the fastball, 101 miles an hour, and the Miami Marlins will be advancing to the NLCS. The team mobs our Aroldis Chapman up near the pitcher's mound, and the Marlins are elated with enjoyment as they celebrate an NLDS victory over arch rival, division rival, Atlanta Braves. So the Marlins move on. We win the series 3-1. Yes, using Matt Moore did pay off in the end. He probably will not be able to start Game 1 of the NLCS, but that's alright. I'm very confident in the depth of our pitching staff, and I'm very excited for that series. I think this team has a lot of potential. Do we have a World Series run in us? Who knows? Baseball is such a random sport that you never really know who's going to make that run as we get towards October. Maybe the Marlins will be the team this year. Who knows? Morrison gets your player of the game. That's going to wrap it up for me. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you did enjoy. I'm out. Peace.